Okay, so yesterday I've shown you this. I'm using 1.6 in. So how do you know that? It is actually, I think I didn't start my cluster. Yeah, start all .sh because I used in a single node cluster mode to install HBase. There are three ways you can install HBase: standalone, single node pseudo distribution mode, and third one is full cluster. Just like Hadoop, we have single node and multi node cluster. So this is actually I deployed HBase in a. If you use standalone, you don't need to work with HDFS. It is for like I can have a Docker container in AWS, and inside that, if I use HBase, if I want to create cloud storage, you know, a device in my cloud, I can install HBase in standalone mode. So I cannot use single node. So for single node, and single node is for testing, and multi node is for development. It means together with HDFS. Now JPS, I have the cluster. The data node, name node is what all I'm worried about. Now start HBase.sh. That is what all you need to know. All you need to do. Okay, so here I covered all this. So way to download HBase and all, how to configure and all everything. Now I'm going into the fundamentals. Like in HBase, what happens? There are different types of commands. To start with, we have shell commands. Interactive shell. HBase comes with the shell, HBase shell, and when you start HBase shell, you have a REPL opened in Linux. Okay, it looks like this. HBase, something like this. When you the first time when you, I'm going to show you that. Yeah, it started here. If I use JPS once again, now you see I got all daemons of HBase being started. This H master is very, very important. H master, and then see, I'm telling everything in a simple fashion. Okay, H master is a big topic. What is H master? What are the roles and responsibilities of H master? What are the features? Say high availability. Yeah, అన్ని కూడా వస్తాయి అన్నమాట. H master role ఏంటి? Then H region server. This is actually meant for the cluster. I mean, H region server is there are regions. అంటే ఏంటంటే network లో there are regions. When some few computers are connected together into a network, the network is actually a collection of regions. So H region server duty is to take care of the regions where the data is going on, in which data node data is available, and how to retrieve it back and save it back. అలా అన్నమాట. H quorum peer అనేది the administration. This is actually the responsibility of the zookeeper. Yesterday I told you that when you install HBase, you also have the zookeeper, which is a standalone project in Apache. It has nothing to do with HBase. Make use of zookeeper to manage, to supervise the cluster. So H quorum peer, and then you got H region server, and then H master. These are the three important daemons that gets added to existing daemons of Hadoop. Okay, JPS and H master should be there, and it should be keep running all the. Now H base shell. Now we'll straight away go to the. Actually, when I'm executing this command, I'm getting problem, but it's okay, fine. I that do exist, but so now H. Say this is the prompt. You'll get the HBase prompt. And here, if you use a list, I don't have any table, so it should be able to. If I use version, let's say I'm using 1.6. This is the version I'm using. I'm not using 2 because, if I use 2 now, it works. That's we just have to find out an appropriate version for my operating system, and it is just like finding a software application. Suppose you want to, like yeah, I have screen recorder. I never find one like in Ubuntu we got the free screen recorder, free audio recorder, free everything is free in Linux. But for Windows, you can record audio, but for recording screen activity you may not have, you have to pay. All paid, all free, you don't get it. So it is just like that. Finding a good application for a given activity is always kind of. So once, one of my colleagues, he happened to talk about some certain. There was a small, tiny software application meant for Windows. It was for PCA. principal component analysis. And in one of the classes, he has uttered this statement, sir, you see these people just writing the software and they are offering them free. See, and it was a surprise to him. He said it is with so surprisingly. I'm sure he was not knowing about R, Python, Hadoop and all everything. Now, for a small application, he was he got some certain he got to teach some PCA, principal component analysis. He was not knowing that this thing can be done in Python and R. You see, actually, people are like that. But by now, I'm sure he could have matured. And I was there he was delivering a lecture. I was just a kind of new faculty member in that institute, and I was listening. Like the people are not aware of the things. Where is that small tiny tool compared to such a gigantic open source big data Hadoop kind of. Okay, anyway, so you are too young to appreciate the. So this is actually the version. Now let's go back and yeah, you got few. These are all called the shell commands. Okay, there is status, version, table help, and who am I. They're all actually bullshit. I don't think they're all one active master. If you don't have the master, you'll get error here. So that was suppose if I open another terminal and say JPS, my master is working here. You see, that is what I said. Your backend daemons should be working properly. If any one of these daemons are not working, then you will get error. That is what is the intention. So for this, the moment you execute this status, you will get an error. So my master is running as a back end daemon, and now you see daemon. This is actually not daemon. So there is one active master, 0 backup masters, and backup master is not there because I have only one server is there, and this is actually the average load. I don't know what is actually the load, maybe some memory kind of thing. The status is, this is available in different, you can use simple. Okay, that is another way of, you'll get all the information like, active master. This is actually the local host, the active master. Don't go to this. I think, I don't know whether this works or not. The master is running here. And this is for those individuals who would like to go for, I don't want to open my browser because it becomes slow. VM becomes slow. So instead of, so you got here the localhost 6. This is where the master, suppose if I am writing a software application and I want to communicate with backend HBase. So I can make use of this, the URL to get the information from the master. And then you got one server that is localhost 16. This is the port number. So this is for the software developers. If you are a developer and you are writing some big data application and you want some cloud storage activity and you want to do that by using HBase, then you can make use of these the URLs together with ports, fully qualified to get access to the resources. Okay, and there are different versions here. Like you can also use summary. I think another version is summary, and there is another description. I don't know. Like here you got where is this? Here the status law. You will get detail. So you got simple, summary, detail. Anyway, that is status itself is enough for us. But if you use a status summary, then you will get status simple. Then you will get a huge amount of that is sufficient for us. We don't want anything more than this. That itself is you got a total. There's a lot of ancillary information of the workspace, or maybe your workspace or my workspace, the given workspace or that's sufficient. Okay, detailed and all this that is not required. Another shell command is table help, and this will give you all the information related to the tables, like what is a table, how to create a table in HBase, and what to do with a table. Like you can enable a table, flush a table, disable a table, drop a table, you can scan table. Okay, there are a lot of methods, all the like get method, put method, how to create a table. This itself is sufficient. Now if you do this practice, so you can just for us you just execute this command table underscore help, and then whatever the command, you can just copy this And if you copy this, see what's going to happen. So here, if I paste here and press enter, let's see what's going to happen here. It has done something. Yeah. See, one row is affected and something like that. It has created a table. Now at this point in time, if I use list, I got a table, T. T is a table. I created a table. Now if I use T, maybe describe, you got, this is actually the information about the table. I can also do like this, I guess. T, no, I cannot use T because it is going on. So describe T, scan T. This is another way. I can use T dash scan for schema, scan T. So both ways is, you can do both ways. This T is actually an alias for a table. I create a table, create table. See, the same, I'll just delete this now. See, list. I got one table. To delete a table, disable first T. First, we need to disable it. Okay. And usually, I also check is enabled T. So usually, I do this false, which means disable. Sometimes, in when you are in actual full-fledged cluster, it will take some time. You cannot disable immediately. It will take some because it's a full node, the multi-node cluster, and it need to. So is enabled actually a command which helps. It's a single node, so I don't need to do it. I can just now drop T. If I use T drop, let's see what's going on. Now if I issue the list, nothing. So I don't have a single. Now here when I use the list, I have a table, and you see this is actually the list of the tables that shows. Now create. I am going to use again, table, not table actually. You can use test, something like that. Okay, I'll come back here. So if this function will let you know everything and anything. If you use this function table help, and you can start practicing. Just copy everything and you can start practicing it. Who am I is another a dummy function, but actually it's okay for who am I people. It is not important to me, but there are people who sometimes we can also write a small HTML page where like you have imagine that it is a cloud. We are dealing with a cloud storage in some certain cloud. Okay, so this information is very important for developers. They will come to know the service status as by the platform. The platform information is the. So we can provide small service to the customers. So we can, when we write the application, cloud storage application, it is easy for us to provide. Customers can come to know the back end host OS with this command. So like these are kind of. So these are actually the basic HBase shell commands. So these commands has nothing to do with Linux shell. Okay, they'll not bash shell commands. And by the way, you can't just like in Hive, you can't do. I don't know if a colon operator is there. You have ls. Oh, okay. Let's go into. It's not. Just. Yeah. So I will have the table. That's not colon operator will not work. Okay, so these are actually the basic, and now you have table management commands. The second set of commands. First set is the basic HBase basic shell commands. Then you have the table management commands. These are very important commands. Now these commands are useful for you to. We can write. Now we can create a command list of commands. List is I'm already using it, and you should have observed how I'm using list. You can describe after you create a table. You can I think okay. List of the tables, describe the tables, disable all is another, is just an extension for the disable. Suppose if you have two or more tables, and you can use a rug expression for, and you can enable table if it is disabled, and enable all is again another extension for the enable. Drop all and all, show filters. This again, for developers, they can make use of this show filters to offer services to the clients. I mean, we can use all these commands to develop an application in the cloud. Okay, if we are using HBase as a cloud storage mechanism. I mean, to create a cloud storage service to our clients. If if the developers use HBase, they have all these methods to provide access to their cloud objects, kind of. Now create, yeah, this is actually the create. So how are you going to create? Now at this point in time, I would like to talk about, I'll open one of the tables in my, I think I have, yeah, this one is a small table. I have a CSV file. Why I have CSV file? There is an intention. I'll tell you later. So actually you see here I have a column one. This is actually a column. In this column, there are 3 subcolumns. Okay, and there are rows. This is actually the main purpose of HBase. You can't do this type of activity in Hive or SQL. SQL will never support this type of schema. It is just only here. Hive and other any conventional RDBMS or ODBMS software will go till here. This step is not being. So that is actually we need to have this type of so multi-columnar tables. Okay, it is not row-wise tables. It is a columnar tables. So columnar data storage is being supported by HBase. That is why HBase is so that this is the reason why we call it as NoSQL. You don't have the SQL commands, yet you can create tables. You can create tables in HBase, but you don't have you have other mechanisms to read and write data to your tables. You don't use SQL commands to read and write data. Now what we do is we'll just create this table in HBase. So please be cautious. I have a column family here. This is called column family. In that there are 3 subcolumns. So all these 3 columns falls under this column family. And now there are rows. For each row, for each subcolumn, I got values v1, v1, v1. So this is actually the shape of the table. And to create this table, we can't use Hive. That is where HBase is handy. HBase comes into the picture where you have complex tables and they are columnar, not the row-wise columnar operations, not row-wise operations. You can delete a column, you can delete a subcolumn as well. Now create, I call it as some test table. Okay. Now comes the column family. I call it as column 1, under which I have, okay. So I have, so create a table called test, and there is 1 column family. So that is C1. C1 is a column family. I can also write it as CF, which means a column family. So in table I have C1, and here so let's see what's going to happen. Now if I press list, I have a table test. Now I can use describe. Okay, test. This is actually the description. I got a column family that column family is referred with a name. Okay, and these are all other ancillary information like metadata. Kind of, we're not interested in that. Even I don't need to talk to you. So these are all, there is cache, true, block size and replication scope and all. There must be some attributes also. In memory false, it is not in memory table. It is being saved in the HDFS kind of thing. Okay. Now, if I use scan, okay, test, I have nothing. You see row information, rows, there is no information, columns in it. So now we'll insert the information. Okay. So you can, I'll stop this table management comments and I will go to some other, menu called here, handling tables in, yeah, no, not this one actually. I think insert and retrieve data. Handling tables, what do you have? Okay, this is handling tables. So insert and delete data. So for inserting data, you got, in SQL, you got insert, and here we call put. Okay, put and get. To retrieve data, you got get, and to put the data, to insert data, you got put. Put table name, row name, column name, value. That is very simple. Okay, put first table name and then column name. It is a column family. You see here, I'm putting a colon, and this is object-oriented function. Okay, key value pair. So key is CF and value is A, which means create a subcolumn in the because we have 3 subcolumns in this table. They're called A, B, C. Okay, so now, so CFA, I think I have to use row also. I forgot it. Here comes the row one. For row one, for CFA subcolumn, the value is going to be P1. Okay, let me put enter. Now at this, scan test, you see I got one row. See row one, earlier it was blank, right? We did not have information under row as well as column or cell. Column plus cell information here. So now we got cell A and the column plus cell information. We got one column family and there is one subcolumn A and there is a value V1. So why this is displayed like this? Because that is how in software development the information should be like this. Suppose if I put a query, I create some software application in which I want to retrieve the information. So I can just get this information and this information and this information, this information, something like that. So that's why it displays like that. It will not be displayed as just like in Hive and SQL. Okay, and I'll just go up. For row one, it is still row, right? In same row, we got B and now we got V1. Same. We're not going to change. Is that? In the same row, that is okay. In the same for same row for A V1 V1 V1. So we are not changing it. We are not changing it. For same row will be the same, but A change it to B. Now the value will be V1. Let's see. And now same remains same. Row is same, but column family C V1. Okay. Now scan test. Let's see. Now you got for first row. For row 1, this is information. Row 1 for column A, value V1. Column B, value V1. Column C, value V1. Now, second one. So now I'll go for, now row changes. For row 2, it is going to be A. Now value is going to be 2. So, how do you know that? For row 2, V2, for A, B, C, V2, V2, V2. Three different values. Okay, V2, V2, V2. Now, put test R2, yeah. Now same B. Just a small example, that's it. Don't ask me like, sir, why we are interested in this. We are interested in this because we need to practice. You need to practice, not me. I don't need to practice. And now I go for the column 3 now. Row 3, sorry, column A, value 3. Okay, row 3, column A, value 3. Row 3, column B, value 3. And row 3, column C, value 3. So 3 different columns, we are injecting data. Now row 4, column A, V4. Okay, this is how. But here I'm doing in CLI. Usually we don't, inject data in this function. We'll be having an application. I'll write a Java script, and that script is going to do all these activities. I don't need to come to HBase CLI just like this and do all this, row by row. Nobody does this work, and nobody has the patience and time to do this work. So we will just, write a JavaScript, and that JavaScript will be part of some certain Java application, and that application will take care of all these activities. Now for I in something like that, we can use for loop and just keep changing the value in the each row. You can do anything and everything, whatever. It all depends on the logic of the. So now R4 A V4, R4 B V4, R4 C V4. Enough. Now scan test. I have one more row, so that's enough. You see, I got 4 rows. See, this is row 1 information, row 2 information, row 3 information, row 4 information. So this is how the tables look like in HBase. I think I unnecessarily clicked on okay. So this is how now to get the information. To get the information, get table test, and then you got column. I can say R1, and then CF. CF, yeah. So for R1, first row, this is actually column family. We got V1, 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 V1. These are the values. So in the same fashion to get the data. Now, this is actually get method. Okay, to put the data into the table, we use put method. And now what happens is that you need to write some bash script or Python script or Java script to put the data to get the data. So you can make use of the Python functional programming, the architecture kind of. Python is a wonderful, very kind of. Maybe I don't think I'll get A here. Let's try. Yeah, I'm also getting a CFA. That is also positive. CFB. Okay. That's what else, beautiful tool. To me, actually, if I want to write a software application for cloud storage, what else I need? This is enough. I can get a lot of, I can do miracles with the help of HBase. Not you, to me. And if you are into data, if you are into software development, you will understand and appreciate this type of, tools. So this is actually in action, it is a wonderful data store. HBase is a wonderful data store in this way. If you can now list, we have only one test. Now let me delete this. Okay, we created. I've shown you how to put the data, get the data, and now I'm. So what did I say before you delete a table? Actually, there is another activity. I have to copy this table into another table. That's another important activity. But the time is running up. I'll try to show you how to delete the table. Okay. Now to delete the table, first we need to disable the table. Disable now test. Okay. Now is enabled test. Automatically disable false vasthundi. But if you are in full-fledged cloud like multi-node cluster, you have to check is enabled. First we check is enabled. Suppose one of my clients, I provided some cloud storage service to one client, and he want to delete. He uploaded little data into his cloud, and he want to delete. Now I need to provide some mechanism, like is it there? Is that data is there or not? First, he can put a query. I can create a button in browser, and if he press that button, it shows the information. Yes, it is there. And then you can press another button which deletes the data, something like that. So now drop, it is still there, list, it is still there. It is disabled, but still there. If I want, I can still enable test. Let's see. Now is enabled test. Yeah, it is there. ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది తెలుసా? ఇప్పుడు నేను disable అన్నా అనుకోండి, I can write my application in such a way that this will flush the table to the trash. Disable అనగానే ఏమవుతుందంటే ఈ టేబుల్ ఏదైతే టెస్ట్ ఉందో అది ఉంటుంది, స్టిల్ ఇట్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద కంప్యూటర్, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ బి దేర్ ఇన్ ద ట్రాష్. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ అపియర్ ఇన్ ది అప్లికేషన్. అలా అన్నమాట. సో కస్టమర్ కెన్, మై క్లయింట్ కెన్ ప్రెస్ ఎ బటన్ so that this table goes to, table in sense, for him it is not table, for me it is table as a developer. For a customer, data, all the data will goes to the trash, and he can go back to the trash and he can restore it, and that is enable. So he need to press another button, enable, and now all the trash information will come back to will be restored. That is what is called enable and disable. So don't think that why this bugler is talking all these things. So there is a kind of purpose. You have to now drop test. I know all of you are sorry, drop. Oh, enabled. Okay, it is telling me that you cannot delete it, you can throw it to trash. First disable it, disable test, and then you got and then drop test. So now if I use a list, that's gone. So this is actually the fundamental activity in cloud storage. HBase. I know all of you are very eager to leave the session.